My name is Joyce J. Scott. I'm a visual and performing artist from Baltimore, Maryland. You know, people always ask me, when did you become an artist? And I tell them I was an artist in utero. That's right, I was a baby artist. My mother, Elizabeth Caldwell Talford Scott, was an artist. So I come from a long line of people from the Carolinas who made art, so it's in my DNA. I didn't even have a choice. My parents were sharecroppers in North and South Carolina. When they had me, this kid, they had a person who was in love with learning, with knowledge. And then they put all their extra money aside to make sure that I would have the knowledge and the education that was taken from them. All of my teachers were supportive of me. My senior high school teacher, Olin Yoder, said, "She's the one." To have a teacher believe in you in that way. And he helped me get a senatorial scholarship to the Maryland Institute College of Art, which started my scholarship in the arts. I went to that school, and I was sure I was going to be a painter, because I could paint. I was told in my freshman year to stop painting for the betterment of myself and the entire human race. Bastards! When I talk to you about my mother's side of the family, they were blacksmiths, metal workers, quilt makers, basket weavers, potters. And I did all of those things in the art department, as well as painting and printmaking and drawing and sculpture. When I left that school, I was really an artist. I don't know if I have a true definition of what style is. Style maybe is your personal glow. It's the way you move. I don't worry about that very much. At 75, I've been through 7,000 styles. I'm just me now. The power of art as a wearable spirit, as a vehicle, is insurmountable. Certain ethnic groups are really in the mood with that. They know about the colors and they stamp and they're using things from 100,000 years ago that still exist. Some people pile culture and style on top of each other. This could do damage though, this could hurt a person. The power is that it makes you accessible to others. When you're wearing art, a giant necklace or just jewelry, or you've got that makeup on, or you're wearing something you've woven, somebody wants to know you. And if you can be accessible, if you can be available to them, then you have a relationship, even if it's fleeting, over something creative. Well, humor is important to me because I'm humorous. That's my natural person. Laughing is a real specific way of breathing. You're incredibly vulnerable when you release that way because people are saying things, sometimes they're really horrible and you can't help yourself because, oh God, please stop, I can't. It's a way that somebody squiggles into you. And in that squiggle, in that entrance, they can also give you a very powerful message. I am a trickster. I'm a legua, I'm that person who would be a jester in another community. But that person, that comedian, that trickster is the one who tells you what others would lose their head for. Who has the ability to suss out things and then make them palatable for you to listen to. Now you go home and think, what did she say? Gotcha. So I, like any other self-respecting hippie in 1970, went to Mexico to find myself and to be one with myself, kumbaya. Now, why did I go to Mexico? Partially, it was because it was a country filled with brown people. That's very different than the United States. From that began my sojourn around the world. I went through Central and South America, Panama, Guatemala, Cuba, Peru. I went to Thailand, China. I went to 5 countries in Africa. And of course I did Europe, parts of Europe. That sojourn, when you're asking me, well, what did it do for you? One of the things that it showed me what my parents and my godparents had told me before, that I was equal to anyone else. It showed me that I could work with other people around the world just by being me. That's a strength, folks, because we get scared. But when I got really scared, there was always somebody who was there because I had my mother's passport, a needle and thread. I just have advice for us as humans, and that is to keep going, to live. This is the one life you have that you know you're going to be a human being. You may come back as a sock. You could come back as like a prune, a bodily fluid. I won't even list those. So if this is the life you have, live it, run it, and whatever you choose to do. So if you're an artist, persevere. You fall in a hole, you get out, you make some more art. If you're a doctor, whatever you want to do, live this life. It is such a great blessing, and we're here for such a short period of time. The world is a squillion years old. Maybe we get to 80? This in many ways is paradise if we experience it. So just live. And there's another thing about that. Let others live. Help. When you're on your own and you're only about yourself, then that's all you're going to get, you. But when you are hungry for others, then you can have a feastful life, a feastability, a big yummy life. I don't know what just happened, but you'll have a really big happy life. Trust me on this. My mother said to me, you have a light. You have a very bright light. I believe we all do. There are different colors and shapes and intensities, but my mom said you have a very bright light. Don't hide it under a bushel. That's what they used to say in the South. Don't hide your light under a bushel. My parents' lights were squelched under a bushel because of their ethnicity, because of their lack of education, and because of other people's need to have power on them. My mom said, don't be that person. So I say to those that if you can't cop a hit off this light, if you can't get that heat and shine, then step off. Because this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, ooh, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Ooh, let it shine.